This is the Culinary Institute of America, the self-proclaimed premier culinary school in the United States and third best in the world. For my food policy documentary, I decided to examine the disparity between male and female chefs in the Culinary Department of the CIA. Culinary specifically, not baking, because as almost anybody will tell you, there are quite a few female chefs in the baking department. However, in the culinary department, there are only 3. The first female chef we see is Chef Chang, who has worked here the longest. She teaches Asia's, followed by Chef Eisenhower, who currently teaches Meds. And then finally, we have Chef Rowe, who was hired last year, and she currently teaches fundamentals. I think it's important to start off this documentary with some wise words from Chef Shirley Chang, a woman who, as of this July, will have been working at the CIA for 31 years.
As a female chef, I always think a chef should be not divided by male or female. Chef, good is your skills, your everything should be same. But as a female chef, you're working harder. Or any chef, you're working harder.
The main reason behind my choice of this topic is that I have not had the pleasure of being taught by a female chef in my 3 semesters here at the Culinary Institute. I've been subbed by Chef Chang in a la carte once, and I was subbed by Chef Eisenhower in Mediterranean's class once. Other than that, I have not had them as a lecturing instructor. And it made me curious about the experience of other students at the CIA and the culinary department, and wondering how many people I could find have had one female chef.
How many female chefs have you had in that time?
0.
You've had 0 female chefs?
Yep. Chefs, none.
No female chefs.
No female chefs.
I've had no primary instructors, but I had Chef Eisenhower as a substitute just yesterday.
2.
None.
I've had 0 female chefs in the entire time I've been here at the CIA.
Female chef at the CIA, that is Chef Chang.
It seems that very few students get to have 1 or 2 female chefs, which made me wonder how many female chefs could people remember there ever having worked here?
When I started working here in 2009, Eve Felder was, and she's in town today, but Eve Felder was an associate dean, and she was a chef, is a chef. Elizabeth Briggs was a chef instructor. I think Liz was one of the first chef instructors after Lyde Buchdenkirk. And her husband, Robert Briggs, was also a chef instructor. Carol Harwin, Chef Chang, Chef Polenz, Chef Eisenhower, Chef Gigliotti. I think that's...
I know Lai, I know Lynn, Chef Lisbrick, Kathy. Not many.
So less
For culinary.
less than 10
Less than 10, obviously less than 10, yes.
in 31 years.
The main issue that comes to mind with hiring female chefs in the culinary department is that potentially women, by the time they are experienced enough to qualify to work at the CIA, are ready to have a family and settle down. So I had the opportunity to interview Professor Ryder from the nutrition department on this topic because she just went on maternity leave. However, there was a technical difficulty and our conversation did not record audio. Her experience, though, was that the school follows the FMLA guidelines, getting 12 weeks unpaid maternity leave, and anything that you want on top of that, you can use your sick days to cover the beginning of it, and then you get 50 to 60% covered by the state because New York has better guidelines than the rest of the country does. She actually sent a letter to the administration highlighting how difficult and frustrating of a process it was to understand the practices of maternity leave, which make it seem that it's definitely not a great process.
So I think part of it is that there just weren't a lot of women training to become chefs and sustaining their careers to the point of coming here as the next step. I think there are other colleges that have more female chef instructors represented, that have more traditional academic years. So if I want to step away from my restaurant career to raise a family, I can still be a chef. I can teach in a program that has a traditional academic year, fall semester, spring semester, but summer's off. So when the kids are home, I can be home kind of thing, which again is that's sort of me making gender assumptions that women stay home and raise the kids, but that is, that is a thing.
I find it pretty upsetting that I have not and will not have a female chef in my 5 semesters at the Culinary Institute of America, because it doesn't make me feel represented, and it doesn't make me feel like I know what it's like to have a female chef running a kitchen. And I wanted to know what my fellow classmates and students thought about it, because specifically my female students, because I wish I had. I think it's important for me as a woman going forward in this industry to learn from other women.
How does that make you feel?
Very sad that a lot of the women chefs in the culinary industry don't get hired here, or they don't come and work here. A lot of women chefs aren't either advertised either. You also still see a lot of male chefs while you walk through Roth Hall. You still see all the males, no women, no nothing. So I feel bad. It is a very heartbreaking thing to be a woman and not have representation in the culinary industry.
Disheartening, I would say. I feel like they don't really set an example for the food industry in the school, but hopeful that you'll see more female chefs in the actual industry once we get out of here.
Honestly, it doesn't really make a difference to me personally, but the fact that it does come to mind is like, why are there always female chefs in the bake shops? Like, why are there no female chefs in culinary except for like a couple that could literally be like, you could literally count them on your one hand.
I think like women are often taught to kind of lay down and like be more submissive in a lot of jobs, and so I think it's nice to see strong female chefs that don't embody that and that fully lead their kitchens. I also think that having female chefs has kind of broken down the stereotypes of my male students, as like of the other male students, and like it will hopefully lead them to not feel like women are not worse chefs or like bad at their jobs or anything, having seen like strong female chefs in leadership roles here.
It has impacted me a lot because when I was in Chef Chang's class, she helped me like liberate myself in so many ways. Her teaching style was very different than the other chefs that I've had. She was very detailed oriented, and it kind of matched with how I work. And also the fact that she is respected in the school a lot by like all her counterparts, that was really nice to see and learn.
How do you feel your experience might have been different if you'd had a female instructor while you were here? Do you think it would have been impactful?
It may have been. And I quantify it because it would have really depended upon the observed experience of how she was treated by her colleagues. So if she was treated fairly and well respected and treated as a peer, I think it would have definitely been great to have a role model that looked like me. I think had it been otherwise, it could have been discouraging.
I don't know where I thought this project would take me, and I still don't have an answer as to why there are so few female chefs at the CIA and the Culinary Department. But the main overarching theme that I've found is that the Culinary Institute of America can do better, and it should do better to accurately represent the culinary industry and to put forth a good showing for other women to be engaged in this industry.
The female chef in the CIA is always excellent. I just wish we have more this kind of chefs there, and I wish all my female students someday come back, because CIA hire a lot there. So yes. Yes,
Great.
always more.
Great.